Okay, I'm just making a quick video of my staff, my magical staff. I have finished, or rather the glue has set. I just have to do a little bit of cleanup around the bottom of that crystal. But anyway, the glue has finally set. Technically, it's got to wait another 4 hours, but I was brave enough to take the duct tape off, and it seems to have, that's a bit wobbly, that might not stay, but it seems to have pretty much set, except for that one little greenstone piece. I have taken it outside and blessed it and charged it with prayers to Great Spirit, the Holy One, blessed be his name forever and ever. And look, I'm very, very contented with my efforts yesterday. It's a shame this has got such a massive crack in it. Maybe one day I'll buy another, go to a jeweler and get another piece for it. But you know, it looks good on the staff, and the crystals I bought yesterday, or that arrived yesterday, look really lovely. I didn't think, that needs a bit of scraping away too. I didn't think they would actually ultimately glue on, but with perseverance and a bit of Tanya's stubbornness, it happened. And I'm really happy that this necklace that was missing a component is now being put to good use. Only thing is, I'll probably have to polish it fairly regularly, but that's okay. It looks great. And I have my voodoo chicken claw that I actually bought under the mistaken belief, because I read it somewhere on the internet. You can't believe everything you read on the internet, people. That it would help with love. But no, apparently after researching it further, after the claw arrived, it is used to protect your vehicle. Usually they in America, they hang them in their dashboard window, mirror, sorry. And anyone who knows anything about voodoo or hoodoo who sees that knows not to frickin' touch the car or rob the car, because it's a heavy protection against burglary. So the Tanya, being the Tanya, was most amused about that, since nobody's burgled my heart lately, and that suits me fine in a way. I can't really do with any more heartache. So it protects my front door from thieves. And to be honest, you know, there's been a few things happening around here, like, you know, a few prowlers at night, and that one I chased off. So it's working, in effect, mainly because I'm a scary mofo and I scared the little creeps away. This I made a long time ago for the staff. It used to sort of hang where this one's hanging. So I thought, well, if I'm going to have jewellery hanging off it, I might as well just go the whole hog, and I put that back up there. And this is my little voodoo. It's a blessing. It's actually got, because it's voodoo, it's got Christian overtones, which, you know, everybody knows me. I'm not very fond of Christianity, but you know, the universe is one. There's only one God, and there's only one consciousness and one holiness. So I had to kind of think, oh, we've got the healing hands for Jeebus, man. But anyway, it's all very well, because that's what voodoo and hoodoo was all about. It was the black slaves regaining their traditional cultural religions and hiding it within Christianity. A bit like, you can compare it to the conversos, that the Spanish called marranos, which means pigs. The conversos, who were Jews in Spain, just leading up to 1492, had to hide their religion as Jews by, they couldn't have seders for Passover, they couldn't observe many Jewish holidays. So they were kind of like disguising it amongst the Christian festivals and trying to kind of blend in, which worked up to a point. But if you were discovered to be a practicing Jew, you were kicked out of Spain or tortured and killed, which, you know, basically pretty much, you know, came to the same result anyway. In medieval times, travelling was quite a dangerous pursuit. So anyway, here we have an example of how, you know, African slaves that came to the Caribbean and the Americas kept their little traditions but masked it with little Christian symbols. So, you know, that's why that's up there. It's part of the Voodoo Mojo bag. And inside I have, you know, little blessings to bless my house. And I'm an eclectic witchy person, because for my Jew crew that think I'm some kind of, you know, bestial, unworthy heathen, which maybe I am, who knows, on the front door I still have my mezuzah, which Sally's Castle. I bought 2 of them. There's one at my front door and one at my back door. So I blend everything, all the spirituality that is of a positive and holy nature that I can relate to. I don't really know a hell of a lot about Hinduism. Well, I kind of do. I've picked up a bit of information along the way. But I have at my front door my Naga Kanye, who is half angel and half mermaid. And the Naga Kanyes, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, are the guardians of the underworld in the Hindu culture, and they are actually mermaids. They guard, you know, they guard the seas and woe betide anyone who tries to cross them, because they're quite avenging angels, which we have mirrored in our own Jewish and Christian ethos as well. So on my bed, I bought these with my small inheritance. I just found them delightful. And in recent years, I thought, well, you know, I must do something with these beautiful things. So I screwed them to the bedposts of my bed. And I must say, they're protecting me remarkably well. They haven't permitted any floating random strangers to enter my boudoir, which is a good thing. As you can see, I haven't bothered to make my bed because blah. And beside my bed, you know, I have my little leprechaun. I'll just get a close-up of him. My little leprechaun that sort of laid around doing nothing. I thought, well, you know what? I'll honour my Irish ancestry. He can sit up there. And I bought this beautiful, beautiful pawa shell last year, I think it was, as a sort of a nod to my New Zealand roots. And my beautiful cousin Megan Phillips made 2 kete for me, and this is the shorter one. And I haven't put anything in it yet, Megan, but it's sitting there beside my bed, protecting my the right side of my bed, and my little jewellery boxes, you know, with all my nose rings and stuff, and my little collection. This is also, this was actually my mother's. My little collection of boxes are up here, and my little bits and bobs, you know, the Christmas ornaments that Auntie Lottie sent throughout my childhood. And they actually got used last year for the first time in 35 years, because I never ever, since the time I converted to Judaism, put up a tree or celebrated Christmas. But last year I had this madness come over me. It really was a kind of madness. I think provoked by the fact that I felt like I'd nearly died in June. And so I thought, let's put all these little beautiful little hearts mountains, handmade. I think these ones, some of these are cheap Chinese knockoffs, but these are original German ones. Although she's lost her legs, poor lass. I put them on a little miniature tree. And, you know, it was really odd. My Christian friends got terribly excited because they thought I was celebrating Christmas. But no, I decided that trees, as my mother had used the argument as to why I wouldn't celebrate Christmas, trees are really a pagan symbol, and I was celebrating the festival of life. You see, when you're a bit witchy, you can include all kinds of philosophies and, you know, reframe them how you like. But I choose to reframe things and stay, hang on, just hanging up some coat hangers, stay within the framework of being, you know, a being of love, light and truth. I haven't quite completely gone to the dark side. My little fairy will tell you otherwise, but oh well. I might actually try and attach a little, I've got a little shop display gun that you know, attaches labels. I think I might try and attach this little hedgehog to her because he keeps falling down. And they look good together. Yes, so anyway, and there's my little Dios de Muertos skull my daughter bought me last year for my birthday. I think it was last year, it might have been the year before. So, and my table that I'm so proud of that I finished off varnishing last night. So the Tanya is really getting herself, and look, Jew crew, here's my Hanukkah menorah I actually bought for my nephew's children, and then we fell out. So it's still sitting there, waiting to be, you know, presented to them at some time in the future, if ever. If not, Hanukkah is coming. It's above my door. I bought that last year because I had this little one made out of grasses and it had been up there for years and it kind of just got eaten by bugs and rotten. So I burnt that and replaced it with a little witchy stick, you know, just for good luck and protection. So now those of you who are into spiritual things understand why the Tanya throws an epic tantrum when she actually gets spiritual presences haunting through the house, because how much protection does one Jewish girl need, including from her own community, Oi Gavolt. So this is my little tarot bag, and it was actually made for me back in, oh gosh, I think it was for my 16th birthday, Tali. My friend in Israel, Tali Hookman Rudi, sat down, made this little bag for me, and it's travelled with me from New Zealand to Australia, and I've never parted with it now, but I haven't really used it a hell of a lot. So I found it tucked away in a drawer last year, and I thought, you know what, I've treasured that all its little life, made for me in love by my beautiful artist friend, who, you know, we don't really have much contact, but I remember the people that treated me with loving kindness. So little marijuana charm on there just for added measure. A little nod to our favourite thing. And she even put a little, although I didn't smoke in those days when I was young, she even put a little Arabic like coin on it. It was just lovely. Anyway, I went and had a look at it, and it was missing quite a few beads and bits and pieces. So I sewed a few more bits and pieces on, like this little this thing here, and you know, just a little button, and the horse has lost his neck over the years, but anyway, little mother of pearl horse. Anyway, it's a sentimental piece, even though it's just really made out of a schmutter. It was the thought that she put into it, you know, embroidering all the edges and sewing it together. So this was a little bag that, as my daughter was leaving last week, to be honest, she'd been a bit mean to me, pressing my buttons a bit, as kids do from time to time. And as she was leaving to go home, she wasn't going home in a fit of anger, like I'd just, you know, risen above the bullshit as I do. But as she was going home, this bag, apparently, she said, because I keep it on this little folk art German little stool that I got from my mother, next to my grimoire that I made. And apparently the little bag flew off the chair and was held at her as she was walking out the door. So I tend to believe her because I had a lot of activity that week or the week before. So I'm trying to figure out why Spirit decided to throw that particular item at her, because it holds my miniature Rider-Waite tarot deck and lots of crystals and a few sentimental things that people have given me over the years. So it's quite a protective piece, you know. It's quite magical. It's got the coin that Emmanuel Meshes crossed my palm with. He gave me a coin of Winston Churchill because that was the year of my birth, 1965. And why he did that was I had given him a coin of the shilling with the Aries because he shared my birthday. Now he was a bit of a seedy, creepy guy. He used to make rude comments to me in Kabbalah classes, and I eventually quit the classes. But for some reason I still have that coin, and it's a reminder of my mana. It's because it's pretty interesting when your enemies gift you with little presents, and even they perhaps don't realise what they're doing, but they're acknowledging your mana, your spirit, your power, your chi, your energy, your whatever. And I keep these little reminders because I used to look at that coin and think, oh, Emmanuel is such a dirty old bastard, really. But it was a lesson for me at the time in holding my ground, not losing my temper, containing my rage, and dealing with fucking seedy, creepy idiots. So there is that. But anyway, apart from that, it doesn't just hold the coin. It holds, lovely little pebbles, heart-shaped pebbles I found in Byron Bay, and so I would write the date that I was there, and it's sweet. So anyway, that got held at my daughter, so there must be a reason for that. They certainly wanted her attention. That's all I have to say about that. Anywho, and here's my last remaining marble table that needs to be, oh God, sanded right back. The last one took 12 days, but then to be fair, I mean the first, 8 or so days, 10 days or so I worked on it, trying to sand by hand. So now I have an orbital sander. This one might not take quite as long, but it's hard to tell because the resin's actually quite thick and chunky, and yes. So anyway, it's going to be a task. But I'm up for it. I've finished this table, so that means this is ready to be started on. But I'm not ready to start on it yet because we walk into the kitchen. I'm still finishing off this. And the alarm just went off because it's due for another coat. And I might give it a light sand again. And it's starting to come together, I think. I keep deluding myself. We're up to 20 coats, so I think maybe another 10 coats, and hopefully these little furrows and divots will fill in. And if not, after 10 more coats, I think I might give up because enough is enough already. But it's looking very glossy and very beautiful, and so when that is finished, the next 10 coats, I will start on the brown marble table. And I also have to buy resin, which is very expensive, to coat both that marble table and the pink one I worked on. So yes, very soon, I'd say in the next 4 weeks, all my table crafts will be finished and completed. And that will free me up to undertake some other task, like perhaps writing, or I don't know, I might find a new hobby by then. And by then it'll start getting quite hot, so I won't be wanting to do a hell of a lot anyway. And so we'll just see. We'll just see what the next few months bring me. Anyway, good morning. Almost lunchtime, 11:57. So good morning from Sacred Space.